Let's start with your favorite team, the team that everybody's got an opinion about right now, the
The
Friars.
Friars, and they're killing me, Lee. They look great. They look bad. I don't know what to make of these guys.
Here's the question. I mean, we are pushing to the halfway point of the Major League Baseball season. A Padre fan, like or dislike your team? I mean, we see home runs, we see the odd occasion, big innings, we've seen some quality starts, and then we see this. Statistics. You have to look at the statistics. The record is 34 and 35. That's not very good. This record is 13 and 21 at Petco Park. That's not very good.
No.
This record is 21 and 23 against teams with a losing record. Playoff teams don't act like that. That's not very good. And then there's all these ancillary statistics. John, just get your pencil out. I'm just going to throw them at you.
Okay.
12 guys thrown out on the bases, trying to get extra bases already. 6 picked off, 15 caught stealing. The team has committed 36 errors. This team has 7 pass balls, 21 wild pitches, and heading into this past weekend, stolen bases, the opponent was 30 of 40 against Padre catchers on stolen bases.
Wow.
So, John, please tell me, does this look like a playoff contending baseball team, or is the record what the record says you are?
Some days they look like they're world beaters, and other days they look like, the Colorado Rockies or worse. But I'll tell you what, I don't mind so much, being aggressive on the base pass. I like that. But a couple of times they were really dumb. I mean, there was clearly being too aggressive. But if they are just getting some, being called out on the bases, I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, but Mike Schilt says it's part of the game. Well, when you keep running yourself out of rallies and you're losing close games because you keep getting guys picked off, a.k.a. Fernando Tatis, 4 times already?
Well, yeah, the pickoffs are like a brain dead moment.
Yeah, and caught stealing.
Yeah.
I mean, and getting thrown out, trying to take extra bases and getting gunned down at second, gunned down at third, knocked off at home plate. It's just not a complete baseball team right now. And of course, the other story, and they don't want to talk extensively about it, but this Joe Musgrove situation really worries me because and I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. I mentioned it a month ago, the word bone spur. And now they admit there's a bone spur. And now they admit he's had the plasma-rich platelet injection. That takes time to come back from. We could be talking an additional 4 to 6 weeks before Musgrove is ready if he doesn't have any setbacks, and we don't know that for a fact. And bone spur surgery could solve it, but that probably wipes him out for 2/3 of the baseball season, so I'd be worried about that. Manny Machado, I think, maybe going back to designated hitter. The hip flexor strain has supposedly improved, but he doesn't look like he can explode going down the bases or going from first to second or first to third. I just think they need to handle the Manny Machado thing with kid gloves. So you got Darvish. The Musgrove situation is much more serious than I think the average John Q fan knows. And then you got the young guys that are being forced to put out there. And Randy Vasquez has usually one really crappy inning, and it winds up being the difference between being in the game or out of the game. And as gritty and tenacious as Adam Mazur's been, he's really overwhelmed right now at this level. And to complicate it, virtually every one of the top stars in the Padre minor league farm system, John, is having a really substandard season, including the top pitching prospect, Rob Snelling, who's kind of stalled at Double-A. I mean, when you have minor league ERAs of 5, 6, 7, 8, that's not good. So I don't think there's a lot of help coming from the minor leagues right now.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think you got to basically, put Musgrove on a shelf here. As a fan, we just can't have the expectation he's coming back. Vasquez has gotten better.
He has good innings.
Yeah. Brito, on the other hand, has been awful out of the bullpen. He's been terrible. We thought those two could start. The Adam Mazur pick is interesting because his first game, he looked terrific.
After the second inning. First and second inning, he walked the house and he escaped because of all the double plays.
Yeah, but still, he got the double play. I mean, way better than his second outing. The second outing, he looked young. I just think it's good that they're giving those guys a shot because I'd rather have those guys get a shot than having Russ Kinnear or some of these journeyman warm bodies fill in those holes.
Okay. Fans Forum box is open. You need to get into the chat box, Padre fan, here's the question. We're almost to the halfway point of this up and down roller coaster season. Are the Padres pretenders, or do you realistically think the Padres are contenders? And don't look at the back of anybody's bloody baseball card because we're dealing with what is right now. Fans forum box is open. Padre fans, first ones to pile in. John,